sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football pregame show. I'm Scott Trella. We'll break down tonight's game. The Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Redskins are scoring off right now. It's fully underway, and the Vikings are up 3-0 at the end of the first quarter. So we'll call it a pregame show, second quarter show is what we'll call it. And I'll break down. I'll get my thoughts about tonight's game, of how I think it's going to go, and I think we pretty much know how it's going to go. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football trivia question. Which Vikings running back rushed for 296 yards in a single game during his rookie season? I'll have the answer later in the broadcast. It's Thursday Night Football Week 8, and the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Redskins are squaring off at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And the Vikings are up 3-0 at the end of the first. I just said it in the first quarter. The Vikings are 16-point favorites in tonight's game against the Redskins. The Vikings are coming off a big win over the Detroit Lions last week in Detroit. Now the Vikings will be without their star wide receiver Adam Thielen, and it's a revenge game. It's a revenge game of sorts for former Viking, now Redskins wide receiver Adrian Peterson. But it should be, and Adrian Peterson, yes, is returning to play against his former team tonight. And but it should still be a romp for the home team, and I agree with that. Now, with Thielen out for tonight's game, that means that Stephon Diggs will start at wide receiver for Adam Thielen for the Minnesota Vikings tonight. Now, Adrian Peterson is questionable for tonight's game, and the Redskins do have a few injuries tonight. Now, meanwhile, the Redskins are coming off a low-scoring shutout, 9-0 loss to the San Francisco 49ers last week. And the Redskins are 16-point underdogs in tonight's game against the Vikings. The Redskins have been struggling so far this season, and the Redskins are 1-6 on the season right now. And they got their first one a couple of weeks ago, and so that's how they got to be 1-6. But the Redskins are going to have their work cut out tonight for them tonight against the Vikings, and they're really going to have to step it up big time if they want to get the win tonight against the Vikings tonight. And but I feel the Vikings are going to have the edge in this game, and they are 16-point underdogs tonight, the Redskins. So I feel the Vikings have the edge in this game, and I feel the Vikings are going to win. And I picked the Vikings to win tonight, and so does my brother-in-law Eric Hoyle. So that's our Thursday night pick of the week. And expect Minnesota's offense to really dominate and play hard, and expect the defense not to be too far behind to really play hard as well. And Kirk Cousins, the Redskins are really going to have to focus on Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins, and Chase Daniels is quarterbacking for the Redskins, and the Vikings will have to focus on him tonight. But I think it's really going to be a romp for the Vikings. I really think the Vikings are going to have this game in hand by all means tonight, and I really feel it's really going to be one of those games where the opposing team is going to really have to step up, or really is really going to have their hands full and get manhandled. But I really feel the Redskins are struggling, and they're going to try everything they can to win this game tonight. And I just feel. But all in all, I don't see the Redskins beating the Vikings tonight. But I could be wrong, but maybe I'll be wrong. But I don't think I will be, because I do feel the Vikings have the edge in this game tonight. So we shall see what happens in this game tonight from the second quarter on. And we'll have a lot more NFL games coming up for you on Sunday. and I'll have the rest of the picks then. And but the Redskins do have a few injuries tonight, and the Vikings have several other guys out with injuries tonight as well, and so, but they have a few injuries on the Redskins, and I just feel the Redskins are really going to have to step it up because they've not played well as of late. They've only won one game so far this season, and that was I gotta see where it was at. I know. And it was in Week 6 against the Miami Dolphins when they won by 17-16. So they really are going to have their hands full with the Vikings tonight. And they're really going to have to focus not only on Kirk Cousins, but the Vikings offense. And also the defense as well. So I just feel this is going to be one of those games where the home team that is favored, in this case, in cases of Vikings that be favorite, is really going to have the opposing team's number, which is the Redskins. And I feel that's just what's going to happen, is that the Vikings are going to have the Redskins number. Then again, I could be wrong. It could be a close one. You never know. So we got to wait and see what happens. And I don't want to jump the gun because I could be right, but then again, I could be wrong. So we'll see. Well, I'll get back to talking about this in a moment. Right now, it is time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football trivia question. Which Vikings running back rushed for 296 yards in a single game during his rookie season? You heard me say his name a couple of times, and if you said Adrian Peterson, you are correct. On November 4th, 2007, Peterson broke his own franchise record as well as the NFL single-game rushing yard record previously held by Jamal Lewis when he rushed for 296 yards in 30 games and 3 touchdowns against the San Diego Chargers, who are now known as the LA Chargers. And as you know, Adrian Peterson is the former Viking, and he is now the wide receiver for the Washington Redskins, and he is coming back to Minnesota tonight. He's back in Minnesota to play against his former team. And I will have another trivia question on my next podcast, so which will be probably on Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday, so stay tuned for that. So now, getting back to tonight's game, I really feel Washington, they practiced hard, but I think their defense is really, the offense and defense, besides the quarterback, Chase Daniels, Cease Keenum, excuse me, I'm so sorry, Cease Keenum, is really going to have their, is going to have their work cut out tonight against the Vikings, and they're really going to have to step it up and really put the pressure on the Vikings offense and defense, and really put the pressure on Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins, because they're going to be, the Vikings are 16-point favorites, as I've said, and I think they're going to have this game in hand, and I really feel that it's going to go the Vikings' way, and the Vikings are going to come away with the win in this game by far. And now, I could be wrong, you never know, but we'll see, but I don't think I will be. But I do feel that the Vikings are going to come away with the win in this game tonight. And I think a lot of media and a lot of NFL fans and Vikings fans agree with me wholeheartedly on this. So I really feel I'm going Vikings. I'm going to say Vikings. Vikings 31, and the Redskins 14. We'll make it a 17-point win. We'll make it that. So we'll see what happens. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football pregame show, second quarter show. I'll be back with the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football post-game show once the Vikings-Redskins game has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.